about who has more pressure on them
Yes.
for a coaching
I thought this was
standpoint.
I thought this was an interesting, and I'm talking not even just in the NFC, but just all of the coaches that are left in the playoffs. I'm of the opinion that I think Kyle Shanahan has the most pressure to win. I could see the argument for hardball, but no, I actually can't. But because he has a Super Bowl win, even though he hasn't, basically sniffed it, I feel like once you have that win, like that gives you so much leeway for so long. My other thought is the Bills, because like they always get to this point and then lose, and it's like you have this star quarterback, you finally have a run game. Like, how many times are you going to almost get there? I think the Chiefs are fine. D'Amico Ryans, you're happy to be there. Matt LaFleur, you're happy to be there. Not. I'm obviously they want to win, but I'm saying from a pressure standpoint, um, in the NFC, I just think Kyle Shanahan has the most pressure for his legacy to kind of win. Like, people respect Kyle Shanahan, and they even put him most. I don't know if you would call it nerds, because I believe this, and maybe not like a nerd, but most people that you talk to who are really into football, they would classify Kyle Shanahan as like a maybe even top 2 coach in the league, top 5, top 3 coach in the league. Better than Sean McVay. But Sean McVay has the Super Bowl. I think until you have that ring, I think it carries so much weight. I just really think, and I don't mean like he's not going to get fired if he doesn't win, but I think the pressure is kind of on, especially if they lost. I mean, I think it would be fires, not fires like as in he gets fired, but like the fan base would act like the world is on fire if they lost to the Packers, I think.
And I think Kyle does have the most to lose, right?
Yeah.
Now, and then it's I hate bringing it up, but when you trade up to get a quarterback at 3, you're in a win now mode. Like you didn't hit on the quarterback. You obviously missed on Trey Lance. Brock Purdy is your
They didn't?
quarterback.
Wow. I didn't hear about that. People should have some podcasts that should have been made about that. I bet some people could have made some money.
So so you miss on that, and then now your quarterback's Brock, right? You have the team to win. You have the number 1 seed. The last year you got to the NFC Championship, and your quarterback got knocked out, and your entire team literally said, "If we had a quarterback, we would have won." So you have everything in place um to win against the Packers team. If you lose against the Packers team and you get one in and you're done, you're screwed. Like as a coach in general, because you don't have your Super Bowl window is open for the amount of time you could blink in the NFL. Like there's literally it's open like that. It closes that fast. So for me, I think Kyle Shanahan does have the most pressure to win. Um, and I think especially because it's divisional round. Now, if you get to the NFC Championship or the Super Bowl, I don't think that the
No.
pressure is as much on Kyle. Now,
I
it's
think
gonna
the
be
pressure is on him to win the Super Bowl.
dang like
Stop.
that.
Stop getting there. Stop.
I
Like,
agree with you, but I'm just like because you also have to realize like there's
but think like I actually think about this. Like what are some out of the coaches left? What would be a coach that would have as much pressure as he would?
Matt LaFleur. You really
I
lose to
don't
the
think
Niners
so.
three times in a row? Are you that
He
coach
has
that
a
could get me
young
over the
team
hump?
that looks promising. Young team
But
that
it's
looks
just too though.
promising.
It's can that coach get you over and get you past Kyle Shanahan? 3 times in a row you lose to them when you had a better roster before. So it's like he has a
I
lot
think
of pressure on him, in my opinion. Like he has accomplished a lot with a young team, but then there's also the fact where it's like, man, can he get us past Kyle Shanahan in the NFC? Is he the coach that could get me past him?
Do you think that the Todd Bowles, the Bucks coach, saved his job by getting them to the playoffs? Because he was one of those
Yeah,
coaches that was like on the hot seat last year.
yeah,
But
he
I
saved
think
his job.
by
But
yeah.
I do agree with you. Like I do think Kyle has the most pressure on him, but like it's because it's divisional round.
My debate was between like this round, like losing this round was between Hardball and Kyle. But what I had to go back to was Hardball has the Super Bowl. Like, until you win the Super Bowl, you and I feel this way with quarterbacks too, right? I think this is why it's so good. Gives quarterbacks a lot of grace when they win a Super Bowl early in their career is because you can build the perfect team, and if you haven't seen the player get over that hump, you're always going to have that question: can they win a Super Bowl? Can they win a Super Bowl? Well, with Hardball, can he win a Super Bowl? You've seen him. Yeah, he can. Will he this year? Maybe, maybe not. Will he next year? Well, we know that he has, so we know he's capable of it. With Kyle Shanahan, he's an excellent play caller. He's amazing. He's a genius. He's, one of these boy wonder guys. He's built an incredible team with a great mentality. Can he win a Super Bowl? We think so, but we don't actually know like for a
I
fact.
mean, if the Niners lose, I know for sure what show I'm excited for because I know Ashley gonna be coming in on Kyle Shanahan hard, and rightfully so. Like, but I definitely know you're gonna be going at Kyle hard if we lose at any point in the playoffs. So that's the episode I'm most excited about. Everyone on Ashley's show, if you guys are tuned in, please do me a favor, come over to Clutch Gene Sports, subscribe to that channel. If you're on Clutch Gene Sports channel, go to Ashley's personal channel. It's in the description and hit that subscribe and like button. But the pressure is on for everyone in the playoffs. But definitely, I do agree with you that Kyle has the most pressure on him. I just don't think that Kyle would get fired. Like I think Jed York understands like there's no coach out there who's better than Kyle. Like who realistically, if you were to go hire a head coach candidate at this
I
point,
agree. I agree.
you're not going to get anyone better than Kyle. And I think kind of why the Cowboys and the Eagles kind of stayed
What
with their
about
head
what about
coaches.
I think he's getting some interviews, and I think a lot of this has to do with people like to hire coaches that aren't in the playoffs because they want them to start right away. But Ben Johnson, I know he's gotten a lot of praise,
I
a
think
lot
he's
of
gonna
hype.
be a commander's coach.
Oh, did they announce that? Am I dumb?
No, they haven't announced it, but like
Oh, okay.
there's there's
I was
there's
like, did
very
I miss
good
something?
there's very close and like he was asked about him and he was saying how like the Commanders are a great fit and stuff like that. So I think that's kind of where he has his mind on getting the number 2 overall pick, getting a quarterback. Um, so that's where I think the 49ers wouldn't have an opportunity to have a good have a head coach unless they were like, you know what, Bill Belichick's out there.
Wait, is this working?
Oh yeah, right there.
Perfect. Okay,
Okay,
sorry. I get excited and then I'm like, move. I'm Italian, you know. Grew
it's
up with a
always
grandma who she's always like talking like this and like swinging her arms on her head. I could never do, those things where you have to like hold. I was just doing that. I had to sign up for something with like my bank, and you have to like hold your head still. And my friend was like holding the phone with me, and I was like twitching, and she was like, "Can you not?" And I was like, I don't know. I feel like I think I'm just shaking at all times. My grandma's like 80, and she's like shaking, and I do that. And I don't even drink coffee anymore. I realize it makes me anxious. My friend and I have been going on our little coffee walks, and I quit coffee a while ago, which is crazy because I love the taste of coffee. Really, really left turning this for everyone. But I got a tea instead of a coffee because I was like, don't want to be too. And then that I was so anxious that night. And then I haven't had coffee since, and I felt fine. And I was like, oh, I guess I just can't have caffeine now. I'm just like
yeah.
naturally on a little bit of crack.
I normally get
My
headaches if I
stream
don't
get
drink
banned for
coffee.
that? Never mind. You get headache. I used to be
Yeah,
like that. That's why I quit. I I feel like maybe I overdid it with the coffee. Like when I was a kid, when I worked at a coffee shop in high school, I drank so much coffee. Did you ever? I remember like my favorite thing was caramel lattes, but I used to ask for like extra syrup with with whipped cream blended in and on top. So basically, just
jeez,
like
asking for diabetes right there. It's like
I would like
give me a
drink
caramel
that
frap,
before like
extra
cheer
caramel.
practice and then go and be like, bah!
Dang, that's crazy.
What about that Adam Peters Bobby Slowick connection? It's my hypothesis that Bobby Slowick won't get hired this like I know that he's done an excellent job with the Texans, but I think people probably want to give him one more year.
I agree with you, and the reason why I say that I don't think Bobby Slowick becomes a head coach yet is he's done a lot of great things, but how
But
much is he getting
also
carried by
CJ,
his
yeah,
quarterback? You're like,
exactly.
how much do you got to give credit to the quarterback where he's doing things that as a rookie we haven't seen in a long time. So it's like if you do get Bobby Slowick, it has to be a quarterback or it's a team that has a quarterback or a team that is going to have they're in position to draft a quarterback really high, and those quarterbacks aren't there, right. Caleb Williams going probably number 1 overall, Drake May 2, Jaden Daniels, from what I'm hearing, is going to be a Patriot. Kind of what it sounds like. They're taking a quarterback at 3 no matter what. Like that's kind of what
I
I've
think it was
heard
bad. I think it was a bad decision for them to stay within the like Belichick cycle for the Patriots. I think it
for
puts too
their
much
coach.
pressure on him. Yeah.
But I think what I
And
like
I've heard
about
he's good. I've heard he's good. But I just feel like, don't you think that like if you get a guy who's from a whole different tree, then your expectations are totally different. But if you get a guy from the same tree, does the fan base like carry over the same expectations? Do you think? Or maybe not?
well,
Because
the
you
the
can just like
thing is,
never live up to Bill Belichick, you know? And I feel
and
like
I
maybe
think
you're compared
that's
to
what he made sure he was very, like, announced at the podium during his press conferences. "I'm not Bill Belichick, and I'm not running everything how
yeah,
Bill Belichick ran when I'm here." So, like, he's gonna be
yeah,
a little bit different. He's gonna have, like, the same Bill Belichick's scheme is great. Like, his scheme is really, really good,
yeah, yeah.
but it's the way he ran day-to-day things that
Where do you think
might have
he ends
aged
up,
out. I don't know
Belichick?
because Atlanta's
What do
over
you think?
there interviewing him for the second time, and
Why would you want to go if you're Bill Belichick,
Captain
why
Kirk.
would you wanna go to you
Kirk
think they'll
Cousins is
get
gonna
Kirk Cousins?
yeah, I think Atlanta's getting Kirk Cousins.
Okay, that could make sense. To
So
me,
then he gets
don't
the
go
quarterback.
anywhere if you're Bill Belichick, don't go anywhere unless they have a quarterback. But yeah, I could see him with Kirk Cousins, that could be interesting. Really quick, I wanna ask you, and someone put it in the comments, but you and I talked about or I sent you this before. He predicts some people are predicting a Houston upset, which would be fun, but I don't agree with. But he says, Zane says, Texans win, Detroit win, Buffalo win,